guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ritika and today we are going to deep dive more into the world of AWS networking. As in my last video, I have showed you and gave you the overview of what is VPC and why we use it. And I have showed you the network diagram with an example. So we will be creating that network diagram in our VPC as our own VPC. So stay tuned till the end. And if you like my video and you feel it is helpful, please don't forget to click on thumbs up, subscribe to my channel and hit on notification bell for more, so whenever I post my video you will get notified. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I will be posting my video updates on it. So please follow me on that. And this video is helpful for those who are preparing for AWS Architect Associate or they are preparing for specialized networking certifications. Let's get started. So guys, let's go and check out. So we are on the console here and let's search for VPC. Click on VPC. Then we can see our page in here. So we are here on the VPC page, and if you click on here, see all the regions. So you can see all the regions are having one default VPC here. US East Virginia, Ohio, Asia Pacific, Europe, and we are here in Asia Pacific. So as you can see here, we in our default VPC, see here we have our default CIDR IP. And if you move forward, we can see the main route table, main network ACLs, network tenancy is default. We'll talk about it later. And default VPC, owner ID. So if we click on our VPC here, so as you can see here, we have three subnets are connected to one route table and then network gateway. So let's go to our route table. So this is our default route table. As we go on default route table and click on subnet associations, so we can see we have three subnets over here associated with this route table. And if we go on subnets page, and we can see here we have three subnets, but we have one route table and one VPC. Why we have three subnets? So if we move forward, we can see here we can see our availability zone Southeast 2A, 2C and 2B. And every availability zone is having its own subnet. So it means that we can't span single subnet in all the availability zone. Every availability zone is having its own subnet. So let's go on our VPC, and if we click on create VPC. So let's create VPC here. And here I will go for VPC only, as I want to show you how to create the VPC. If we click on VPC and more, it will create our subnets, route tables and network connection, that is network gateway. So you can create your VPC like that, but I want to show you manually. So we'll click on VPC only. So let's give the name tag here, my VPC demo. We'll click on my VPC demo. And IP CIDR block, we have IPv4 CIDR manual input. We will do it manually. But if you have IPAM, you can allocate to IPAM too. If you know what is IPAM, you can connect to your IPAM. You can get the CIDR block from IPAM if you have IPAM. So here you can create subnets and IP for your environment. So, but we are not using that. Let's move on. So by default, it says 10.0.0./24, and at the bottom it says CIDR block size must be between /16 and /28. So this can be the question for our exam, like what's the maximum size block you can use for the CIDR. So we will take it here as 0.0.0/16, as we have taken that in our network diagram. If you haven't seen my previous video, you can go and check out after this or before this. whenever you feel like. So let's move on here, and IPv6 we don't use IPv6 here. And here default tenancy, default and dedicated. So before I told you that we'll discuss it here. So default is the default one which we'll get from AWS, and dedicated means a dedicated setup environment for your business or the organization. So which will be costly as it is giving dedicated resources for our environment. Let's go for default. We don't put tags here. Let's create VPC. So now we have created a VPC, and here in this page you can see our main route table, main network ACL, and here is our CIDR block, that is 10.0.0.16. So this is the automatic creation of route table network ACLs when we create our VPC. And what else is created? We can go here on security and we click on security group. We can see like these are the default, some launch wizard, which this must be created when I created my previous videos. So here, and we can see this is our security group, the one which we have created now. So this can be a question in our exam, like what is created by itself or automatically created when we create the VPC. Main route table, main network ACL, and security group. If we click on route table here, so here we can see that there is no subnet association with our route table, which was there in our default route table. We have 3 subnets, but here we didn't create any subnets, so there is no subnet association. So let's go and create subnets. Come over here and hit on create subnet. Then we'll click on VPC, select our VPC. Our CIDR block is selected. Let's give the name my subnet 10.0.1.0/24. I'll give this name so that I will know like which CIDR block we are using for this subnet, and this will be in our Southeast 2. So this will be on our Southeast 2A. Let's click on AZ here, where is Southeast 2A. This is our, and this is our CIDR block. Now we'll give that IP to our subnet CIDR/24, and we'll hit on click subnet, create subnet. So we got one of our subnet here. Let's create one more subnet. So one we will be creating for our private subnet, and one we'll create for our public subnet. So next we'll select my subnet. Okay, we can leave the slash and we'll give the name Southeast 2C. We'll give it to C. Let's select here, where's to C here, and we'll give our CIDR subnet IP, that is 10.0.2.0/24, and hit on create subnet. So now we have created subnets. If we click on here, we can see we have created 2 subnets. One is private and one is public. But we haven't defined any of the subnet as private or public. Let's go with our naming convention over here and change the name. We have to, as we have given it for that. And this is how we can change the name of our subnet. And we have created our subnets. And if we go on our VPC and click on VPC, we can see here we have one route table and 2 of the subnets associated with our route table. So if we click on our VPC here, we can see that the 2 subnets are associated with our route table. but one is for private and one is for public. We haven't defined it yet. And if we go on our subnet and we click on it here, we can see 251 IP addresses available. In my last video, I have given you a website called cider.xyz. So if we go there and put our subnet here, 24, it says count 256. But in our VPC is just showing 251. So I have told you that Amazon's reserve few of our IP addresses. So as you can see in this document here, I'll put that link in the description below. You can go and check out. It is very helpful to go through the documents from AWS, so you can go and check out over here. Here it says subnet cider block, and if we scroll down here, it says first IP, that is 10.0.0.0, that is our network address, reserved for network address. And the next IP, that .1, is reserved for AWS VPC router. Then our second .2 is reserved for AWS IP address DNS server, and .3 is reserved for the future use, if they will reserve an IP if they want to use it or not, in the future if they want it. And our last IP address is our network broadcast address. If you are from a networking background, you must be knowing all these network addresses and the broadcast address, which is reserved from the subnet. First and last for the network and the broadcast, one is for future use and one is for the DNS, for AWS DNS and the router. So we have available 251 IP addresses. So let's go back and review what we have done in today's video. So in this network diagram, we have created our VPC, and with that we got the route tables, network ACL and security group. So this is all for our today's video, and please don't forget to hit on the like button, subscribe to my channel and click on the notification bell for more videos on AWS and tech. And if you have any questions, please put that on the comments below. I will definitely respond to your comments. And so with AWS, keep innovating, keep building, and keep securing your AWS environment with VPC and networking. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.